Ryan Reynolds here for, I guess, my 100th Mint commercial. No, don't. I mean, honestly, when I started this, I thought I only have to do like 4 of these. I mean, it's unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month. How are there still people paying 2 or 3 times that much? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be victim blaming here. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch. Whenever you're ready.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
On today's Smart 7, ceasefire agreed between Israel and Lebanon. Labour says get to work, and lots more. It's Wednesday, 27th of November. It's Lancashire Day, and happy birthday, Professor Green.
The Smart 7. It's news, but not the news.
After 14 months, there was finally some good news for one side of the conflict in the Middle East on Tuesday evening. Israel and Lebanon agreed to a potential 60-day ceasefire, which was announced after a meeting of Israel's security cabinet. However, Israeli PM Netanyahu was reserving the right to change his mind based on any aggressive behavior from Hezbollah.
The duration of the ceasefire depends on what happens in Lebanon. We are maintaining our full liberty to take military operations. If Hezbollah tries to attack us, if it arms itself, if they dig tunnels, we will attempt.
Before the vote went through, there was a final wave of bombings by the Israeli Air Force, targeting Hezbollah sites in central Beirut and killing at least 10 people. There's no sign of any breakthrough in Gaza, where conditions continue to worsen. US President Biden made an address from the Rose Garden, thanking French President Emmanuel Macron for his diplomatic efforts and hailing a breakthrough while promising to keep pushing for a ceasefire in Gaza.
For nearly 14 months, a deadly conflict raged across the border that separates Israel and Lebanon. Let's be clear. Israel did not launch this war. The Lebanese people did not seek that war either.
The government introduced its new Get Britain Working white paper on Tuesday. It's intended to tackle a high rate of what is known as economic inactivity, particularly among 16 to 24-year-olds in the wake of the pandemic. Over 9 million of them are either not employed or looking for work, and there are a raft of changes coming aimed at adding an extra 2 million people to the workforce. Work and Pension Secretary Liz Kendall says the blame in part lies with the Tories' failure to deliver levelling up.
The reason we have ended up here is the failure of members opposite to create good jobs and to properly reform welfare. But under our government, this will change. Because under this Labour government, if you can work, you must work.
Schemes will include guaranteed apprenticeships or workplace training, along with more investment and a rebrand for the Humble Jobs Centre. Shadow Work and Pension Secretary Helen Whatley says the schemes don't add up to much.
This appears to be little more than a pot of money for local councils, some disparaging language about the work of job centres, and a consultation which will be launched in the spring.
Angela Rayner, Rachel Reeves and Yvette Cooper may have to reconsider future travel plans as they were barred from visiting Russia on Tuesday. They were part of a list of 30 UK politicians added to a stop list in the wake of escalating tensions between the UK and Russia after Keir Starmer's approval of Storm Shadow missiles to strike Russian targets. The last few days have seen several Ukrainian attacks using the American Attack-M missiles on air defence positions in Russia's Kursk region. Russia has warned it is planning retaliation, although it has also continued its drone attacks on Ukrainian power plants. Testifying in front of the Commons Defence Select Committee, the Deputy Chief of the Defence Staff, Lieutenant General Rob McGowan, says if it comes to it, the British Army is ready for whatever action is required.
If the British Army was asked to fight tonight, yes, it would fight tonight. And I don't think anybody in this room should be under any illusion that if the Russians invaded Eastern Europe tonight, then we would meet them in that fight.
The COP29 summit came to a pretty grumpy end on Sunday in Azerbaijan, with rich countries agreeing to pay $300 billion to aid developing countries in their transition to cleaner and greener economies. This summit also marked the first time that China has agreed to contribute to international climate funds. However, the details remain unclear, including how much of the funding will be loans, and the total is nowhere near the $1.3 trillion that developing nations were looking for. Energy Security and Net Zero Secretary Ed Miliband was under pressure from Tory Shadow Climate Change Secretary Claire Coutinho, who says the UK is doing too much compared to its size.
He would make us a warning, not an example to others.
Oh dear, oh dear.
It's so interesting that she now opposes this, because the 2035 NDC is exactly the target her government legislated for in 2021.
Still to come on the Smart 7, busy night in the Champions League and The Rock pops on his board shorts right after this.
Ready to pop the question? The jewelers at BlueNile.com have got sparkle down to a science with beautiful lab-grown diamonds worthy of your most brilliant moments. Their lab-grown diamonds are independently graded and guaranteed identical to natural diamonds, and they're ready to ship to your door. Go to BlueNile.com and use promo code LISTEN to get $50 off your purchase of $500 or more. That's code LISTEN at BlueNile.com for $50 off. BlueNile.com, code LISTEN.
Welcome back. The Champions League is back this week after the international break, and Tuesday saw 9 games, including Barcelona, Bayern, Arsenal and Man City. Arsenal were in Portugal to face Sporting CP, who've just lost their manager to Manchester United, and it showed as the Gunners came away 5-1 winners. All eyes were on Man City as they faced Dutch side Feyenoord in need of a win after 5 losses back-to-back. Things started well with City 3-0 up, but they lost control and it finished 3-3, which puts Pep's side in difficulty for qualification for the next round of the Champions League. He sounded defensive after the game.
As I mentioned, it's a question of technique, so the first goal cannot happen and the second as well, so that's why. And after that, of course, we forget to happen. We are desperate to win, desperate to do well. We do well, but we don't win games.
It can be hard to tell sometimes with The Rock whether he's playing a character or being genuine. He's been busy back in the wrestling ring for WWE as a final boss villain character, but he's also famous for his charity work and his generosity. Now he's put back on his board shorts and warmed up his vocal cords for the sequel to Moana, which is simply called Moana 2. The sequel brings back Nicole Scherzinger and introduces Taskmaster favourite Rose Matafeo to the cast, and The Rock, or Dwayne Johnson, whichever you prefer, says he's learned to ignore other people's advice.
When I first started in Hollywood, I was told, you're too big, you shouldn't talk about wrestling, don't call yourself The Rock, and you buy into it if you don't know. And I did, until I said, no, I'm not going to do that. Well, I used a couple of curse words to say it.
There's a new movie on the way in time for Christmas, and it has a truly incredible cast. Keanu Reeves, Jim Carrey, Idris Elba, Kristen Ritter and Shemar Moore all join forces in an action-adventure. The only plot twist is it's animated. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 sees Keanu join the cast on the villain side as Shadow, with Sonic and his buddies teaming up to save the day. It's certainly the most dramatic action movie starring hedgehogs you'll see this year. It's in cinemas on December 20th.
It's time, Shadow. Finally, we will have our revenge. But what good is a dastardly plot if you can't conspire with family?
There's 2 Eggmen now?
Double your villains, double your fun.
You've been listening to The Smart 7. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Hit that follow button and have a great day. Give us 7 minutes and we'll give you the world.
1-800-Flowers.com knows that a gift is never just a gift. A gift is an expression of everything you feel and helps build more meaningful relationships. 1-800-Flowers takes the pressure off by helping you navigate life's important moments by making it simple to find the perfect gift. From flowers and cookies to cake and chocolate, 1-800-Flowers helps guide you in finding the right gift to say how you feel. To learn more, visit 1-800-Flowers.com/ACAST. That's 1-800-Flowers.com/ACAST.